Hi guys, this is AnyHowToVideos, and today we're going to be learning how to use Premiere Pro. This is CS 5.5, so if things are different you might have an updated or a downgraded version. It doesn't really matter, things are usually the same. I've obviously got recent projects, and I think it would be better if I go for a new project, because then I can show you guys how to set one up. You just want to go down here, set up a name, so I'm just going to call mine AnyHowToVideo. And then just hit OK. I won't bother about any of the settings unless you're like a really professional filmmaker. If you're shooting films for like TV or anything like that, you would want to go to these two. Basically, NTSC is the American standard for television, and PAL is the European standard for television, I believe. You might want to check on your country if you're sending it off to like media in your country. And sorry if I sound a bit rubbish, I've got a cold. Yay. But normally for like recordings and stuff I use XD Cam HD 422, and then I go to 720p, and then I go to 24 frames per second. That's the frames per second there, but you can also check it here. I'll just highlight that for you. Okay, so once you do that, if you just go to OK, which doesn't actually fit on my screen when I'm recording the 720, but OK. And then you just wait for everything to load. So basically you've got the area where all your clips are stored, so I call this like the clip bin, and then this area here is where you can view your clips without putting them in the timeline, and this is your timeline screen, so whatever's on your timeline, and when you play it, it'll come to this screen here. You've got your audio bars here, so you can make sure that you're getting the right amount of decibels on your audio. So when like you're playing like your video, you want to check that it's just peaking red every now and then. You know when it's red because these will go red. Down here you've got your tools. Don't really know what a lot of them do because I don't tend to use them, because when I'm making short films I use the selection tool, which is like your common mouse for everything, and then you've got your razor tool, which I'll show you later, but when you have a clip in the timeline you can just click and it'll split it in half. Quite simple really. Okay, so on your timeline you've got video 3, 2 and 1, and you've also got your audio layers if you've got multiple audio. You can always add in new like I don't know what they're called, video layers by going to add tracks, and then you can do that yourself. But today you're just going to stick with one, I guess. So first off we're going to import our media. So I've got my intro here, so you just click that and go to open. And if you didn't catch that, it was File, Import, or Control and I, or Command and I if you're on a Mac. There's also other ways to do this. You can use the media browser. So if I go to local disk, Fraps, movies, AHero, takes a while to load. Or just my luck, it doesn't work. Oh well, never mind. Let's try, or you can go to my computer, local disk, and then finding your videos. So if I just get them and drag them over, that will have all my media in. So as I mentioned before, this is to view your clips. So if you just click and drag them across, if you're lucky. I don't know actually where to click on these, but there you are. So there you can see it plays whatever clip you are dragged into there. You think you can also double click them, but I'm not too sure about that. Oh yeah, you can double click them. It's just that these are pre-edited already. So next off we're going to get our intro and then just click and drag into the timeline. I'm going to start off on video 1 and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so next I'm going to get the episode 1, even though it's going to have 2 intros, and I've put it into the second video slot, this track here, because it'll just be easier to manage. If you all have it on one line, you can get a bit mixed up at times. So down here you've got your zoom in controls, so this is zoom out, and then you've got zoom in, and these are your seconds. This red bar here, if you've got a slow computer for CPU, you might see that when you hit play up here, this would... One sec, let me just turn down the sound. Premiere Pro, there we go. It might be a bit laggy, but on my computer it's fine, so I don't tend to pre-render. But if you want to pre-render, just hit enter on your keyboard and it will do this and like render all the frames. As you see, for each clip it goes green if it's already rendered it. So, and then you just tend to wait, and I don't really need to render that, so it just makes it so it runs rendered already smoothly as you do. So the reason why I put this onto two layers was because if you drag this over this layer, I keep on calling them layers because that's what it reminds me of. It'll act as it's on top of it, which it is. So if you think back to Photoshop, when you've got a layer above another layer, the above layer will take like control, like it'll always be on top. It's the same theory within this. And next I'm going to show you how to do a fade in transition. So if at the end of here you've got the darkness where like it goes all dark, as you can see here, to get that effect, I know I've already got it on there, I've probably selected a really bad clip. Let me just try this again, see if I can... No, it's not working for me. File, import. Let's import a clip where it's not being edited. Oh, keep on thinking that I mean my computer. Okay, open these. Right, so if I click and drag that into there, then just go to the end of this one and click and drag that onto the second layer. Okay, so as you can see here, these not, well, they don't fade in, fade out, they just transition from one to another without anything. But if you wanted a smooth fade, you just click and drag this over to that side, and then here you see this yellow line. If you put your cursor over it, you'll see that you have a little black like arrow up and down and a line in the middle. That will make it so you can adjust the opacity of the clip. So if you have it at 100, then if you press Command or Control if you're on a PC, I'm on a PC so it's Control, and then click, it'll add this. This is a keyframe, it's like a little yellow diamond. And then if you put one where at the beginning, so if you click and drag this down now without holding anything, it'll make it so the opacity slowly fades in, as you can see. And this also works the other way around. If you've got this clip here on top of this one, you just do the same, but you make it go down. It's quite simple, really. If you want to fade to black, it's pretty much the same, but you don't have any clips near it. You don't need to have a solid object for fading to black, it does it by itself. It's kind of like why I like it. And I think that's about it, really. Oh, there's sound as well. Let's go down here. Your sound tends to go into this one here for some reason. I can never make it so it actually just goes onto different layers. But you also have this line here, so as I said earlier, when you play it, actually I don't know if I said this earlier, when you play it, it'll have this sound meter, and if it's quiet it'll be quite low. So I'm guessing these are decibels, so minus 30 decibels, that's not very loud. Probably not talking, that's probably why. So as you see, it's getting louder. But this yellow line is the amount of decibels. So if you put it all the way to the top, it's 6.2. So that'll be a bit louder now. There we are. So because of that, that also has the same theory. If you hold Control or Command, you can add keyframes and make it smooth in, smooth out. And this tool here, this is the razor tool. It's the only really tool I use, and you can use it on the audio and video clips. If you just click anywhere, it will cut it up into little bite-sized chunks where you can eat them. But like, you can just move them around and delete them if necessary. Also, it does the audio as well, which is kind of helpful. And that's about it. When you want to render, you just go to File, Export, and then Media, or Command M or Control M. Then it'll load up like this. I've got a custom set preset, which is YouTube 720 HD, and then I just go to Output Name and give it an output name. Then I go to Q. Q, if you've got a master collection of the Adobe programs, it'll open up Adobe Encoder, and then you can just queue them and render all the clips at once if you've got more than one. Export will make it so it exports it on Premiere Pro. So if you're using Premiere Pro and you want to continue using Premiere Pro, then it's best off using Q. If you're not using Premiere Pro after making this video, you just go to export and it exports it within the program. There's no different like quality or anything like that, it just makes it easier. If you guys want help with the preset, what I've made, it's basically, I don't know what it is. Alright, I'm guessing just copy these settings. So MP4 standard, and then on video I've gone to PAL, I've put in the width and height of the pixels for 720, the locked frame rate 25, widescreen obviously. And that's about it really. And audio is just, I had no idea, so I just used anything. Okay, so I hope this video helped, and if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. This is AnyHowToVideos. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Oh, you don't get rate anymore, it's like, isn't it? If you want any more videos like this, please just say, and I will do my best.